you sick of hearing about bird flu? Oh, well, yes. To be honest, I'm very sick of hearing about it, but we may have some relief. It won't happen tomorrow, but it's estimated it could happen within the next 3 to 6 months, which if you've seen the prices of eggs right now, I'll take relief in 3 to 6 months. I'll
Yeah.
take it. So anyway, long story short, the new USDA Secretary, Brooke Rollins, outlined a 5-step approach to lower the price of eggs. And of course, it's all going to be related to bird flu. So, step one, they're going to invest up to $1 billion. And this is not just any $1 billion. This will be redirected funds from wasteful spending, aka DOGE. And this $1 billion is going to be spent addressing avian flu as well as stabilizing egg prices. Now, this is going to include 500 million that will be allocated to help poultry producers implement gold standard biosecurity practices such as protective gear and contamination prevention. Now, of course, we went and did a deep dive on everything you possibly wanted to know about bird flu, and we found that one of the biggest ways that it gets spread is on clothing. It's on shoes. And so if you go to like a hen house and you go to one that's infected and then you also go visit 5 others, you have now spread the bird flu with you. Now, that of course brings up the question of how do you tell that a chicken has the bird flu? And just like human flu, they literally have runny noses. They have red, itchy eyes. I mean, they cough. I was kind of surprised by this. But so would this also, this new gold standard, could this be some changes as far as like, when you go into a hospital and you have to put on like the protective coating before you go into certain rooms?
Yeah.
Maybe we just need to get some paper coveralls with booties for our farmers so they're not inadvertently spreading bird flu from house to house to house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it said that bird flu can live in manure for up to 100 days. That blew
It's
my mind.
crazy. Yeah. That part, I think, is probably the biggest issue.
Yeah. Because think about it, birds poop. We already know this because we talked about lettuce and poop. I know. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch this video. Crazy sauce. But chickens poop, and it is liquid poop, and it's kind of gross. And when you have liquid poop, it's not like you can really avoid it. You're going to get it on your shoe, and then you're going to take those shoes to the next location. You're spreading bird flu.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, number 3, they are going to explore temporary egg imports. I read in an article that suggested that we were going to import eggs from Turkey, which once again, not turkey eggs, just eggs from turkeys, because that's not confusing at all. But
Nope.
hey, if these turkey eggs, like I said, from Turkey, not of turkeys, if they
Chicken
are up
turkey
to
eggs.
USDA standards and it
Yeah.
is a temporary, I would welcome turkey eggs. Hence, not of a turkey, but from yeah, whatever. Whoo! Yes. So, whatever it takes, get my dang egg prices down. I want cheaper eggs. The fourth one, which is really kind of interesting, is they want to research vaccines and treatments, and they are willing to spend up to $100 million for that. And part of that is going to be therapeutic research. As of today, if your chicken catches the bird flu, there's really not a lot of options. The only option is to kill it. Okay.
Oh.
Now, before you get all like, oh, that's so sad, apparently, if you are a chicken and you have the bird flu, it is a painful death. So,
Oh.
euthanizing a chicken is actually more humane, which is the reason why they do it. Now, they want to create a vaccine. And I have never heard of a vaccine related to bird flu, but it makes sense when you consider that bird flu outbreaks, they're not just like seasonal. They come out of nowhere, they infect a ton of birds, and then we eradicate it by killing off all these birds until we don't get any more outbreaks of it. But we've had like 4 major outbreaks here in the US. So it kind of makes sense that maybe we need to develop some type of vaccine to give to these birds so that way they're not susceptible to bird flu.
Yeah.
So we don't keep having this problem every couple years because the last one happened in 2015. So I don't want to go through this every 10 years. The other thing is they were talking about therapeutic research. So they're talking about actually getting birds with bird flu to recuperate, to actually give them medicine to recuperate and not have to kill them.
So like Tamiflu, but for chickens.
But for chickens. So that would be like cuckoo flu.
Tamiflu.
Ah, there you go. That's a better one. Okay. Now, I think this is really important here. The last one is they are providing financial support for farmers. Well, what does that mean? The USDA will pay 75% of the costs to repair biosecurity vulnerabilities and make $400 million available to farmers that have been affected by the avian flu. So, we know that it is possible that it is actually the farmers that are helping spread the flu because chickens don't really get up and walk to another hen house. Okay. I mean, that's not how it works. Now, who moves the manure on a farm? Farmers or farm hands. But still, so I think part of this is that we have to get better standards in care and we have to kind of make sure that farmers are all following the same level of care. Because what if I have a chicken farm and I'm raising eggs and I have bird flu? Well, I've also visited a bunch of my neighbors who also have egg farms. I potentially
Yeah.
could have spread it to all of them. So maybe if, it's almost like I should be the one quarantining myself, not just my birds,
Yeah.
because I've never personally heard about how it's able to be spread on shoes and on clothing and through manure. And let me tell you, you cannot go to a chicken farm without getting manure on your boots.
Yeah, for sure. If you've ever had a chicken, which I did, then they poop. They just poop everywhere, and it's a poop party, and that's woo. So you're stepping in it all the time. You're walking in it,
And
and
it's
as they move
liquid.
about,
I don't know if you
yeah,
I mean, I know you know this, but I don't know if you know this at home. Chickens poop liquid. And it says here that one of the signs of bird flu is diarrhea. I don't know how you would be able to tell that in a chicken because it's already liquid.
that part. One of the things I read in the original article that I really had my own thoughts about was they'd mentioned California's standards of how many chickens you can have in a coop and like overcrowding and things like that. They said drive up the cost of eggs.
It
And
reminded me of like classroom standards. Like,
yeah,
you can only have so many chickens per teacher,
right.
children per teacher. So when I read it, that was the first thing I thought. I was like, oh, California has a farmer per chicken per capita.
Yeah. They have a classroom size
Yeah.
standard. But like, I think you'd probably be able to contain outbreaks easier if you're not overcrowded. And I think when I think about like oftentimes conventional farming, as far as like chickens go, like in egg houses, they are stacked in there. And when they're stacked in there like that, you're going to have probably easier transmission from chicken to chicken.
Well, if you're in California and you have these chicken class sizes that you can't go above, isn't
Yeah.
the answer just to have more classes? And so
Yeah.
that now, if we're not upping the standards of sanitation here, I could just spread it to more chickens this way because I have to go visit more classes. So
Mm,
I'm just saying, yes, I agree that it probably costs more in California because honestly, everything costs more in California.
yeah.
And, but I am hopeful that these measures by the USDA do actually help stabilize the egg market. And they're estimating it could take 3 to 6 months. And so we will definitely keep our fingers crossed on this and we'll keep an eye out because we know how much you love egg related stories. So let us know down below. Do you think this, $1 billion investment is going to help stabilize the egg market? Do you think we're going to eradicate bird flu? What are your thoughts?